Hey, I'm just curious about. I mean, obviously, there's no one play that decides any game, but I'm just curious about when you guys were down 23 seconds left. Just what did you have in mind, and from your vantage point, how did things play out?
Well, you know what, we wanted to, we ran a play to, a little bit of a different play. Actually, we ran very similar to what we ran against Oregon, where Q shot it, but we put Eric there, and we wanted to get a quick ball screen and then a pin down for Quade. Felt like Quade was open. We wanted him to curl in, and then Hamir would pop. So we had a chance to get an early two, a quick two, because there was 23 seconds on the clock. Or, if we were able to get a wide open three, great. But we felt like if we could get to the basket, it would, have a chance to get a foul or get a bucket and then get into our three press. But it didn't work out that way. Eric got the ball. He felt like Quade wasn't open, and then he shot the three. He felt like he was going to make it, but that's sometimes that stuff happens. You just if he makes it, we're running out and getting ready to go, hopefully into overtime or get one more stop. If you miss it, the game's over. So it just happens that way.
Hey, and it seems as if there was just so much in this game for you guys, just the things that you liked and the things that you didn't like.
A big thing, Percy, was really, we always say being good to great in terms of sharing the basketball. Like, you have a good shot, let's get a great shot. And I felt like tonight, just really the ball moved a lot better. We were talking better. We were connected better. We put in a couple adaptations to our zone before the game. We felt like it could really help us. And again, it was one day in between, and it helped us early. And we just, we're new at it at a couple of the changes, and they were fortunate to make some shots out of it. And so, but I loved how our kids fought. I loved how, there was 2 or 3 times that they went on big runs, and we were able to come right back. And that showed that we're getting more mentally tough. We're becoming more poised in tough situations, especially tonight. I thought that was a good sign.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Percy.
Lauren, go ahead, Lauren.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We've talked a lot about slow starts for you guys. What was the difference in kind of turning that around tonight?
Well, we just kept talking to the guys, in between games about, our slow starts and how our mindset has to be. And, it's you can talk about it all the time, but your actions express your priorities, and your actions express, those types of things. And, we talked about it a lot, and those guys came out tonight and we're fighting, and we were fighting right from the get-go. And that was a great sign for us moving forward. And, there's no moral victories here. We played better, or there's better defense and this and that, but we got to close games. We've got to be able to close games.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I mean, obviously no moral victories, but do you feel like something was created tonight that you can really build from?
I think so. I really do. We've had spots of really brilliant basketball, and then we've had spots of inexperience and lack of poise. And tonight against, they got the best offensive team in the league, and obviously we were happy in the first half, and we rebounded the ball better. Second half, they had 10 offensive rebounds, and were able to make some shots. But for the most part, we battled, we competed. We warded off runs. Even at the end, when Tiger had made a couple of those foul line jump shots to put him up 7, we fought right back, had a chance to cut it to 1 or tie the game on that last possession with 23 seconds to go. So there was a lot of positive. I thought our guys stuck together tonight, which was big, and, becoming closer, becoming more of a team.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andy Yamashita, go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Hop. Thanks for the time today.
Yep. Thank you.
So, you guys have had a rough run on defense recently, but you guys kind of locked down compared to your game against USC. What were you seeing on that side of the ball that you liked and disliked?
Well, we're making some adjustments, and there's some guys in new positions, and there's a couple breakdowns. Like in the first half, out of the 5 threes, 2 of them were off offensive rebounds. Obviously, we got to rebound better. And then there was 2 technical breakdowns, and that's just where we've got to be better. And we can't keep making the same mistake, and the same player can't keep making the same mistake. In the second half, I felt like we were a little bit winded. I felt like we had a good rotation. But UCLA did a good job adapting and got a couple open looks and made some big shots. But for the most part, against the best team, offensive team in the league, I thought we did a decent job covering. The 9 threes is just unacceptable, and I think we have something to be able to figure that out as we move forward, but not good enough tonight.
And just those first couple minutes in the second half, when they kind of blitzed you right out of the gate, what were you seeing there that maybe had you guys not quite in the right gear coming out of the break?
Well, it's just interesting. You know, we've got that, you know, there's that energy, and we expended so much of it in the first half. And we talked about it being obviously a 40-minute game, and we had some really good looks at the first. We missed a little floater, 2 of them, and we, you know, I thought Hamir should have shot the corner 3, passed it up, which hurt us. But they were able to get out in transition, and they got 2 layups right away. We knew, you know, we had a 12 to 16 point lead last year in the second half versus UCLA, and they try to amp up their defense. They try to amp up and deny, and I think there was a turnover and 2 missed shots, but they were good shots. We didn't knock them down, but they beat us down in transition and scored. And, you know, we gave up our 10-point lead in about 2 or 3 minutes, which we obviously can't do. But we knew they would be coming hard. Do you know what I mean? But we can't give up 2 layups for sure.
And last question for me, but Hamir set a career high tonight. You know, he seems like he hasn't quite had the same confidence levels, but what do you hope this can do for him?
Well, you know what? People have been really hard on him. I'm not on social media, but a guy that, you know, and Hamir's a heck of a basketball player. He's one of the best defensive players to ever play here. Blocks shots, rebounds, does a lot of the dirty work, the little things. And we know he's a good offensive player. And, you know, he shot 40% in the 3-point line last year in league. And 40% is a high level shooter, and he'd been struggling. So to see him have a good game tonight offensively is just going to give him more confidence, just like Jamal Bay did it 3 games ago, or Eric versus Cal. And we're growing. Once we start getting all those pieces moving in the same direction at the same time, that's when, you know, this thing is you're going to start seeing the W's. And I felt like there was a lot of progress tonight, but still not good enough to win. But a lot of stuff to build on.
Awesome. Thanks, Hop.
Chris Fetters.
Hey, Hop. Just going off of what Percy was saying about the play coming out of the timeout with 23 seconds left. I was curious. It looked like you guys were really scrambling on the bench to communicate with everyone exactly what was supposed to happen. I know it's hard to look back in hindsight right away, but do you think that did that have any effect on how the play developed?
Well, it did. You know, the difference was we had Hamir right at the 5, and so he was going down in the wrong spot. So we were telling him he's the guy who's the handoff and the pin down. So he got it right away. He was kind of confused in the low, and guys were putting him around because we had a small lineup, and we had taken, I think we took out Riley or Nate, one of the 5 men, just to make sure we had 5 shooters on the game. And so, you know, if they helped on the curl with Quad A, then if Hamir popped, Hamir would be wide open for an open 3. Quad A might be able to get to the basket if they don't switch. And so we just wanted to make have our, best player coming off a pin down who's having the best game, and have him either go to the basket or make a play or kick out for an wide open 3-point shot.
Was also curious. Jamal talked about having a players meeting after the USC game, and Quad A kind of confirmed that it took place. I don't know if it was players or if it was a full team, but do you see some things coming out of that we might see in terms of intangibles and how that might have affected this game?
I think a big thing is, Chris, it's just the guys. You know, listen, we've got some really good players, but you know, we've got to become that connected team where the ball's popping, less one-on-one, more belief in each other, more communication, all the things that you do when you team build that's kind of limited us with the COVID situation. And we did have it was just everybody, and everybody was able to talk about, you know, all the things that, you know, we have to do and we believe has to do. We had the players talk, the coaches spoke, and it's just one of those things, intimate conversations. And the way that you get better is communication on the court, off the court. And so I thought it was a positive step in the right direction. And, you know, it is what it is.
Thanks, Hop. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Mazvita.
Yeah. Hey, Hop, thank you for doing this, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, going back on the improved ball movement tonight, is that the start of the trust with the players? Is that it? I mean, is that a starting point on the
Well, I really believe that, like, listen, the great teams, I mean, we make some plays, sometimes where it's a little bit one-on-one. That's part of basketball, but it's just watching like Q tonight. He had 5 assists, and he had probably could have had 10 if other guys made the shots. He was making the right play. Eric made some good passes. Marcus did. Hamir didn't hold it as long. He moved the ball. There were so many positive parts of this thing tonight where when the ball moves, it's harder for the defense to set. And so that was a really good sign. We've been shooting the ball exceptionally well. That usually happens when you're sharing it 10 for 23 against a really good team with a lot of length. And now we just, the defensive part, we've just got to keep getting better. I felt like we were grittier on the glass, especially in the first half. Second half, they're a bigger team, but we fought and had a chance to win on the road against the number 1 team. That's what you're trying to put yourself in position to do. We did it. We just wasn't good enough.
You said you had some stops on the defensive end. How big of a teaching moment is that to be able to carry that during, your sessions to show that you can make stops, but it's needed, obviously.
Yeah, Maz, it's a great, and they executed. Even the ones where Campbell made the foul line jump shots at the end. Quad A was, we were playing behind, and we're going to have to be able to make an adjustment to that. And it was a good play by them, and they made the shots, but he executed what we wanted him to do, and that's a great sign. Some of the guys were breaking down, but he did, and that goes back on the coaches, right? If he makes it, but he believed in it, did a good job. He's just kind of small. I always tell him he's the small guy, but for the most part, unless keeping Tiger out of the lane was I thought a really big part of the game, and he did that, and he just made a couple foul line jump shots. But it's all about the communication. It's all about being able to make the adjustments. Like you said, now it's time to get this video. I think it's really going to help us this game moving forward, and especially when Big Riley Sorn plays the way that he played tonight, and he gave us some incredible minutes and gave us a big, huge presence in the paint where he wasn't having to go to the corners. And we feel like that will be the biggest adjustment that we need to make, and will eliminate the 3-point shot.
Thank you.
All right, last one, Kim Grinolds.
Yeah, Hop, you touched bases on Riley Sorn, but 25 minutes, I believe, was a career high. He impacted the game in a lot of different ways. And, I was kind of curious if he was going to be able to hold up to those minutes. And he hit those couple of key free throws down at the end. How did he hold up with that many minutes, and what'd you see out of Riley?
The biggest thing is, listen, Riley he was like shot out of a cannon, didn't expect to play, put him in against Baylor at the end when they were beating us, and you could see his energy. We felt we could put him in at Utah, and boy, did he play well. And then he's had so many great games, and it's all about his energy. But being 7'4", he's a big dude. And when you play a lot of games and he's playing those minutes, it can also tear you down a little bit. And so, he only played, I think, 7 or 8 minutes against USC. He had some good moments. Today, I was just really proud of him. I mean, it also shows a lot of mental toughness. A lot of mental toughness. And when he has that energy and he's moving like he did tonight, he helps us become different, especially in the paint.